Order! Send more house to save the house! Come on, the house!
Welcome everyone to the Lowerhouse Cricket Club podcast. The Housecast, it's been going now for donkey's years, well over 130 I would imagine. And we never get sick of it, do we, Joe?
I don't think so. Well, I don't, anyway.
No, there's a few times you think, are people listening to this? But it really gives us a sense of satisfaction when you're walking around the ground or you're chatting to people or you get messages and people say they're loving it and keep it going. So we will. We're not struggling for the guests. There's that many people played down the club and been involved, so it works really well. So let's keep going. We were going to do this one in person, but unfortunately it's a Wednesday tea time-ish, a bit wet and windy. The club, I've no doubt, was far too wet for the All-Stars, and we had to call off the All-Stars stand, left it as late as possible, but it was off, so we're now doing it online. Did you get down there, George? Is it a bit of a mess down there? Because there's been a lot of rain.
I didn't. I was there last night for training, and obviously there'd been rain earlier in the week. But it was fine. I did my wicket keeping on the grass and it wasn't that wet, I don't think. So the kind of couple of weeks of good weather that we've had has probably dried it out enough that it can take a little bit of water, but probably not much more, maybe.
Yeah, we don't realise, I think, how dry it's been and certainly how warm it's been and got rid of it all, because you look at the games that you've played in, Joe, and the ones that me and Dooch and others have watched, the pitches are still good. There's still a bit of bounce in them, and the outfield's relatively quick. So hopefully we get the sun back soon. So we're going to go on to the games and discuss the games. We've got a really special guest on tonight, a lad who's been down at the club since year dot it seems, but has come back after a bit of a, what's the real word? Is it hiatus? Is that a word, Joe?
I guess so. Are you not introducing Dooch?
Sabbatical.
Not yet, no.
Oh, right, okay.
I've got my plan here, unless you want to take over.
No, I really don't. Sorry.
So
Dooch is on as well. We can edit that out.
Sabbatical's another good word for it. I do get my words mixed up, but yeah. So I really look forward to speaking to him, and he's been back down at the club for a few years now, and he really helps out with everyone. So it'd be really interesting to listen to his story. Dooch, how you going on? Great day on Sunday for us. We had a nice time.
We did. We had a lovely time at Littleborough. Yeah, I was thinking earlier, what a good ground to watch cricket. I know I sound like a right silly old duffer now, but Littleborough is a good ground to go and watch cricket. It is. We've got a good bar, good tea room, which obviously I'm interested in. There's plenty of good spots to watch the cricket from. Good addition to the Lancashire League, I say, Littleborough.
Without a doubt, and it's a big ground as well. It's one of these deceiving ground. Yeah, but when you're playing on it, if you're batting well and you can work the field and work where you're scoring your runs, there's a lot of runs to be had there. And like you said, I think the pitchers have always played well as well, Joe, haven't they?
Yeah, very well. I don't think I've played there where it's been a bad wicket.
Yeah,
they must have had a bit of a change in their social media approach, though, because I know last year when they beat us, they used to put some quite detailed match reports on Facebook, and for some reason they haven't got one on this week. I don't really know why.
That's right. Yeah, I wonder if anyone's listening and they might think that we'll come back on and we'll put them on after we've mentioned it.
They might have a similar approach to our podcasting, Jazz.
Yeah, I suppose so. We'll have to send him a link. I know Chris Dearden from there. I might send him a link and get him to listen. The only issue I would say, Chris, and others from Littleborough, is it's fantastic food, as Dooch has said, and the ground's amazing. The 2 score box there, but the real ale wasn't on.
What did you have to drink, Jez, instead? Wicked.
Well, I was driving, so I only had a couple, but yeah, slightly disappointing. But anyway, let's move on to our guest. So, a lad he can tell us all about his the way he got into the club and when he made his debut. But we've done a bit of research and looking at some of the scorecards when. I nearly said his name. When this lad first came in, it was really interesting. It's my understanding he made his debut towards the end of the 1998 season. It's Dave Krupinski. How you going, Pinky? Thanks for coming on. Take it off mute. Come on, Pinky.
This is really nostalgic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like having Shez back. Or Stan.
Nicky, I'm looking at my screen and I can only see one face.
Can you unmute him, Joe?
Possibly. Let's have a
Looks
look.
like he's struggling
I can
with
ask
his...
him to unmute.
Yeah, it looks like he's struggling with his button.
Pinky?
Yeah,
Hello.
we've got you, Pinky. Go on.
Pinky, we've got you. Thanks ever so much for joining the podcast. A little bit of a hiccup there.
Apologies for that. I'm not very tech savvy, I'm afraid.
Don't be daft. The only issue is, and we're probably going to have to leave it in, I'm sorry, so you're going to have to improve and the rest of the podcast. You would compare with Stan and Shez.
Really? Oh dear, that's not good, is it?
With your technology skills. But anyway, we'll get over it, Pinky. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome,
really
guys.
looking forward to this. Really, really enjoying talking to you, at the club now and then we, to think about your history and how you started. So the listeners are aware, we're walking around the ground on numerous occasions and Pinky's on most games now. If he's not playing, he's certainly watching the seniors and helping out with the juniors. And you agreed to come on, Pinky. Are you all right with telling us your story, how it all started and where it's gone to?
I am, yeah. It's a bit quiet though, Jez. I can't really hear you.
We can hear you really well, Pinky, so it must be your device
Volume.
volume that needs turning up.
Right. Well,
Can you hear us now?
Then, 'cause I can see you. Never mind hear you. Well, as you probably all three know, I'm born in Lowerhouse and Lowerhouse Lane, and my parents did a lot of the club during my younger years, shall we say.
Yeah.
I think I got into cricket quite late compared to the kids nowadays. With the facilities we have at Lowerhouse and the opportunities they have. I think I started about probably 11 or 12, maybe 11. I think I were. And I used to go up with my mum and dad, who did a lot of work at the club. My mum and dad, Maureen and Steve. So I'd say hello to them as well if they are going to be listening to this. And I think my first ever real experience at Lowerhouse. Obviously, we're watching the likes of the lads who are a year older than me, like Matt Stanley, Gav Shields, Marquis and them lot. And obviously I used to take a ball with myself. I used to bowl with myself and play with myself in a way, in a sad way really. But while my mum and dad were doing stuff around the ground or in the clubhouse, behind the bar, etc. And I think one night there were under 13s game on with Stanley and everyone. Again, Matt Stanley, Gav, Kev K were there as well. And they were a player short. And I was there at the time, again, I think you were 11-year-old, and they just asked me dad if I could play. And I've never played proper cricket in my life. Didn't have a pair of whites or nothing, so I had a pair of black pants on and a white top. I don't know if Joe was playing or if he remembers it at all, but I basically got the Mickey taken out, shall we say, to the point where being a young lad and surrounded by these players I'd only seen play before, even though they're only a couple of years older than me, I actually ran home and didn't come back. So I don't know if he played the game with
during the game.
Pardon?
Was that during the game?
That was before the game started, Joe. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right.
That was like my first proper experience at club. So then I think sort of coming to training on. I think it was Wednesday night with juniors and stuff and doing a bit more. I think my dad bought me a pair of whites just in case I got picked again. And then I got myself a bat and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that was my first proper experience at Lowerhouse Cricket Club.
Yes, and so are you? You're 3 or 4 years younger than we call them the Rugrats, the Marquis, Charlie and Dooch, and Matt Stanley. There are about 6 or 7 of them, a proper nuisance, and you've just added to the fact that we could probably class them as bullies as well. I was born in '82, Jez. So I'm sure. I think we're 3 years above me, 2 or 3 above me. Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I was like the baby, the newbie coming into the squad.
Yeah,
the team.
Yeah.
Younger squad.
Yeah, and it is funny. We've said it before on podcasts. You get a group of players that come through, maybe 2 or 3 of them, and then you get 3 or 4, and even, with Joe Martin and Johnny White and these. But the Rugrats that came through, there were 6 or 7 of them, and they were a handful, maybe 7 or 8 at the time. And when suddenly they get into 14, 15, 16, 17, and nothing's really changed now. They're in the 40s. They're still causing us problems. So we apologise for that, Pinky, on behalf of the club. That's
Jez, I got used to it after a while, mate. We all them what it's right. We all know what it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
Character building.
All good fun though.
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyable.
Character building. I think we should expand a little bit on your mum and dad, Pinky. So with Maureen and Steve, who were absolutely devoted to the club. When you were a young kid and your brother were down there, you were both, enjoying being there, fresh air, summer, etc., etc. But your dad took up some, real significant roles. He helped out on the committee. He did a lot of work around there, and it's people like Steve and your mum Maureen who did the work in the tea room and were constantly there with them. That they're the foundations on what the club is at now, and we have to forget that. They come on odd times. I've seen them, a couple of times. So, keep reiterating to them. They're more than welcome to come on, and they'll love listening to this as well, I guess. So you remember those times when your dad was helping out and running the club almost with the others?
Yeah, I do, Jez, and I will talk to Mum and Dad on Friday about this. Obviously, being invited on the podcast.
Yeah,
and Mum and Dad actually confessed that they never actually watched a game when I was playing at Lowerhouse because they were always busy in tea room or be out of bar doing something else.
Yeah,
so they never saw me get a wicket. They never saw me get a run.
I know.
It was like and they were dedicated. They're dedicated to the club. As a lot of parents were and stuff, and we had a lot of help and a lot of members down there.
Yeah,
did a lot for the club. Still do a lot for the club. It's good to see.
100%.
It's great.
It hasn't to be forgotten of what these people do, and you get obsessed with it, and then you're missing your lad playing. Dooch, can you remember Pinky coming through the junior section? We've just had it, you were 13, 14, 15 when Pinky was 11, 12, 13, and other players that were around at that time with him.
Yeah, I have to confess, I don't remember playing junior cricket with him, and the bullying incident that you referred to there, I won't have been there.
Please don't refer to it as that. Thanks.
I'm a year older than Gavin.
I'm never going to show my face again.
Don't be daft.
But what I do remember quite vividly is me and Pinky were quite often 2 young kids in the second 11 together, and we've said this a few times on this podcast that the second team then, compared to what it is now, is chalk and cheese. The second team back then had like Stan playing, Frank, Shez, Pete Gaynor, Brian Higgin, Brom even played some of the games, and me and Pinky were sat in the corner, sort of, as the young kids. And I didn't realise this till I checked it out earlier, but Pinky actually played in the second 11 when he was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable compared to, especially bear in mind what he just said, that he didn't really start playing cricket. He didn't have a pair of whites till he was 11.
Yeah.
And he was playing in the second team with the likes of Iggy and Frank when he was 13.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable.
So, Joe, that takes me to me to when my first game in the second team. Again, it was very similar to me under 13 experience.
Right.
More
I was at the club with my dad on a I think it was Sunday afternoon, and the seconds were playing Nelson away. I'm sure Rusty were playing. Iggy were definitely playing in the team, and they were a player short. And again, they asked me, Dad, could I play? And I had some whites at this point, because I think I played a few games at thirds and junior games. So I remember my dad saying, yeah, you can play. Obviously, I went over again. My dad didn't come and watch. He were at Lowerhouse doing what he was doing. And I'll never forget. Obviously, again, like you just mentioned there, Joe, we were a very senior side, shall we say, to myself. I'd only seen these people playing on the pitch and never spoken to them off at time. I'd only ever spoke probably through my dad or my mum with them, chats with them. So I were a bag of nerves, really, because I'm going up against a senior side when I've only been used to playing juniors. And I bowled 14 overs in that game on my debut. I'm not sure how many runs, but I think Tony Woodworth for keeping, and he missed a stumping for my first wicket. and he couldn't apologise enough, let's say. But but I think the next game, I think I got a fiver, so I think I didn't do too bad.
Right,
I think
it's remarkable.
Let's try and nail this down. So Have you got a scorecard, Dooch?
Yeah, I've got the scorecard from the Nelson game.
What year was it?
That was my debut, that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't 95?
96, according to the website.
So
Nelson
right.
away.
My birthday was August 23rd, so I think I was 13. I ain't gone 14 then yet.
You haven't turned. Yeah, you were a couple of weeks shy of your 14th birthday. Yeah.
And then both 14 overs.
Yeah. Do you remember this because we've asked you to come on? You've researched it, or do you remember it quite vividly?
Well, my debut. Well, I remember my debut for both second and first team.
Brilliant.
But I ain't done any research. No, I've kind of have bits in my memory, but my memory's not what it used to be, Jez, shall we say?
the game that you got 5.
As me and Joe were talking about last night.
Yeah.
Me and Joe Martin.
Yeah.
So the game where you got 5 was a few games later. It was your 4th game when you got 5 for at church.
Right.
But let's just pursue this one. So I've got the card up now. Nelson Lowerhouse, July 96. So you look at the Lowerhouse side, Frank, potential first teamer then, Gav, Ryan Esketh, young lads, Shez was playing. Phil
I think Ryan got some wickets that day as well. He did well that day. Yeah,
he did, 39 for 5, yeah. Yeah, right, Phil Hastings, Peter Gaynor, Iggy, Roger Brom. So there's a really good cross-section there. And then you've got, the ex-Burnley Football Club goalkeeper, wicket-keeping. And so this lad's run down the track, has he? And he's missed it by a mile. And Tony's got all day, and he's missed the stumping.
His eyes lit up, seeing a young lad coming on bowling off spin, and thought, he's going into the park, is this lad?
Right.
And my eyes lit up. And, of course, I was soon shot back down to earth.
And Tony missed a real simple stumping.
No, they're all hard, Jez.
Well, I don't know how simple it was.
We'll leave it there as a real simple stumping. So I love talking about these sorts of games. And you look at the players that were there. What was the 5 for Dooch?
Church.
4th game, Church away.
Date?
11th of August, 96.
Thank you. Yeah,
so again, some great names in the team that day as well.
Let's go through them. Phil, God bless his soul, did so much for the club and everything he did there. Gav's there. Ian Gade, lad came from Burnley to come to play for his good potential, and then like my school report started well, faded miserably. Peter Gaynor's playing there. Stephen Yardley. Yeah, Stephen, his dad Malcolm had the Yardley Sports, and obviously Dooch, not 831 Dooch. Well battered.
Yeah.
Well battered.
That's when he knock as well, that, from looking at
it does. Yeah. And then he get Matt Stanley, Brom, yourself, Pinky, didn't Matt, and Matt Marquis. And then you come on, they're great figures, Pinky. 5.4 overs, 10 for 5. And you're still 13 then?
Yes, yeah.
Well, I can't think of anyone else at 13 who's had a 5 in senior cricket at Lowerhouse. We'll have to do some research. So that's fantastic, Pinky. And how did you, can you remember how you felt after the game? Can you remember the celebrations and what the likes of Higgy and others were like towards you?
The church game?
Yeah, that church game when you got your 5 for.
I think, I were ecstatic. I were over the moon, as you can imagine. But I can only imagine they were feeling the same because we won the game.
Yeah.
It was just a pleasure, Jez, to play with all them people, and when you're a kid and you see them like yourself, playing with yourself, you watch these people play cricket and as a kid, and then before you know it, you're in the changing room with them.
Yeah, that's it. And I've got to mention this, that your 5th wicket was stumped Higgin, Dave Krupinski. So, if Tony's listening, then maybe should take some notes from again.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think I'm sure I had some. I don't know what stats you've got there, but I'm sure I had another 5 wicket haul, or maybe even a 7 wicket haul at church
that season,
or maybe season after. I'm not sure what it were, but and I got an hat-trick in that game.
Right.
And I think Iggy took a stumping on that one. I'm sure it might have been the same season.
Right. Iggy didn't miss many.
No.
It wasn't like Tony. You hardly missed. So you're getting wickets. You're getting plenty of wickets there, and you're obviously enjoying it.
Absolutely.
you were always a good fielder, and you could bat. You know you didn't get that many chances, certainly as a young kid.
Yeah.
But you had a great action off spinner, bowling well. So you've gone from, you're only 13, you're just going 14, 96, 97, and you make your debut in 1998 on the 13th of September.
That were Rottenstall, I think.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, let's just...
yeah.
And second team. So how old would you have been then? 13th September 98?
16.
Brilliant. And what do you remember about that? How vividly can you remember that?
Well, Keith Arthurton were their pro at the time. I can't remember how pro were. Flegs were earlier than that, weren't he, Flegler?
Motti, maybe?
No.
Sorry? Van Yarsveld?
No, the pro on the day was he was sub-pro, wasn't he? Chris Brown.
Who's that?
He played at Lancs.
Lancs, weren't he? Yeah. Lancashire, yeah.
He was an off spinner as well.
Yeah, I took a catch off him, I think, as well.
You did?
I got 2 wickets. I remember one of the wickets I remember is a lad called Will Cook Martin, who played at
That's right, yeah.
Rottenstall.
Yeah.
And the reason I remember that one is because we played at league team together.
Right.
We're both at under 17 league team.
Yeah, so they had Arthurton, yeah.
Keith Arthurton, yeah.
Yeah, and this was the year, and Pinky, we've had so many discussions about this year. It was when the ridiculous rules were in about you can bat 55 overs in first innings and the team batting second only get 45, and they have to try and chase them down. And I looked at this scorecard the other day, Adam sent it me, and for the listeners, it's worth going to look at how ridiculous that season was. I know it's one of the last games of the season, but Rottenstall, we don't know who won the toss, but they batted first. I would suggest they've won the toss, 148, and they batted 54.1 overs, and we bowled them out. Pinky, you did get Cook Martin out for a duck. You bowled him. Johnny Russell got 2. The Pro Brown got.
We lost Jez, Joe.
It looks like it. The Pro Brown got 4. 23 overs.
23 overs.
4 for 52. So how would you been doing in the second team at that point? To get into the first team.
I can only imagine doing really well, Joe, bowling, because my batting went up to scratch, really. It went up to much. It can only be me bowling. I can only been taking wickets and fielding well. I've an astonishing stat as well, the amount of times I've been run out in my career. Honestly, if you're going to get me out, you've got to run me out. I tell you, yeah. I don't know how many times I've been run out, but that'd be interesting to find out.
Adam will be able to find that out for
yeah,
morning,
Adam will be able to find that out. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
It's but when I look through your first team games, Pinky, I think it would probably be fair to say that you probably didn't get quite as good a go as you might have deserved or expected, I guess. I'm just looking at the games that you've played, and you've only bowled in a handful of them. And yet, when I speak to people around the club about when you used to play, because I wasn't very old at that point.
I remember you, Joe. I remember you in your nappy on pitch, mate. My mum said I had to tell you that one.
All right. Well, yeah, good. People remember me in other outfits as well, so that's at least that one's reasonable. That you were a great player. You were a real prospect for the Lowerhouse team. So why do you think you probably didn't bowl as much as you maybe would have liked, and when you eventually went into the first team?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, Joe. I would doing my best in the seconds. I was taking wickets and and low economy rates and things like that. And when they did give me a chance in the first team, I tried and take my chance at it. But maybe the fact that I was young, I was quite young at the time, and there were a lot of good pros around at them times, and maybe could have been protection. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to get a young kid getting smashed all over the place and ruin him a little bit, maybe. Yeah,
I mean, when you look at your stats, though, it wasn't like you got like hammered any time you bowled. Your economy rate was low, just above 3. Average
Joe, don't
17,
forget,
5 wickets.
back then, there was no restriction on overs.
Of course, yeah. So you
No,
so
So the overs would have been much harder to come by for a bowler like
Yeah.
Pinky, because
Yeah.
the pro would have been bowling a big chunk. Jez obviously used to bowl 28 overs every week, even though it was only a 50 over game. So Pinky's overs would have been a bit few and far between, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I guess that's very fair. Yeah, that's very fair.
Fair comment.
It is. I'm back now. You won't believe what happened. My phone overheated because of a cheap charger Adam bought me.
Overcharged.
Overheated.
Jez's battery's at 110%.
Just been flicking through some of Pinky's cards, Jez, and I've come across something that I can't quite believe my eyes. A game at home against Todd on the 23rd of May 1999. Gary Morehouse bowled 17.2 overs.
Okay.
Can't be right by that, can it?
What
Surely.
game is it?
23rd of May 99. Gary Morehouse, 17.2 overs, 4 for 54. No way.
That doesn't look right, does it? Yarra's year. And I mean, I've caught up now. I was listening to the conversations there about the lack of overs you got, Pinky, when you were playing, and you played in that game and didn't bowl. We have to do some research on that game.
Because Gary bowled them all.
Brilliant. He always listens to it, Gary, so we'll see what he comes back with. Yeah, so that game, strange game. 135 for 9, them, off 50 overs. 134 for 9. Paul Stanley, prop, first change. Yarra, second change, and then Gary Morehouse, and you're playing in that, Pinky. We knock them off.
Brian Haywood got an handy 20 not out there as well. Jez looked for Todd.
Yeah, he did, batting down the order, didn't he? Yeah. Was that the game Matt hit him at head?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Jez, would you have been working, Jez, do you think? Or was that when you broke your neck?
No, well before then.
Or was it?
Yeah. I don't know, Joe. I can't remember what happened 2 weeks ago, so I can't remember what happened in 99.
But
I remember it. I think he ran out of Cod Liver Oil tablets, so he couldn't play that game.
when you look at that game, though, Jez, the only other two potential people who could bowl would have been Blaise and Dave Worley.
And Pinky.
And Pinky, of course, but Pinky would have remembered if he bowled 17 overs, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So
definitely not me.
And it weren't Pinky.
It's got to be a mistake, hasn't it?
I mean, you'd have thought so. But
we'll have to get Gary on the case.
Yeah, we'll have
I just looked at his season stats bowling. That was the only game he bowled the whole season, according to the stats.
So I think, Pinky, the bottom line is we might have to make some more research of, why didn't you bowl more than you did in those first team games? What was your experience of playing there? Obviously with Van Jaarsveld and Moxie was pro the year before, and you're still only a young kid. You've done a fantastic job in getting in the first team at such young age. How did you find it? How did you find it being in that team?
Again, it was an incredible experience, Jez. Just again, obviously every lad or lass who plays at Lowerhouse want to get into the first team at Lowerhouse.
Yeah.
And I was quite fortunate at such an age.
Yeah. And
to be staying alongside Yarra and Mate and some pros we had, playing against pros.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were some good pros, around in the late 90s and 2000s. So I remember playing against Rishton, and Jason Gillespie were playing for them. And it was like, I've seen this guy on telly, you know what I mean? I'm 16-year-old, stood next to him.
Yeah.
Incredible. It was just a great experience, Jez. It really were. And, and it was just, like I say, I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words, really. Just when you stood with people you've seen, like yourselves and Matt and Nicky, Gary Morehouse, all them, when you're a kid walking out pitch and seeing them playing, then next thing you're in dressing room with them. Yeah, it's incredible. Incredible for me.
Yeah, for yourself as well. That and playing. I remember we played some not interleague games. The old Central League Cup that we played a couple of games there, and then so your career developed in there. And I remember your brother Andrew was working as well. He came down the club and did the pitch for quite a while, didn't he? It was groundsman down there. Is that my signal or?
I can hear you, Jez.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, when we played together in those other games, how come everything just fizzled out and then we didn't see you for a number of years before we move on to what, quality work you're doing now?
I think my last game was 2001, right? 2000,
Right.
2001. Is that, I don't know, is that right?
So you'd only been like 18 at that stage, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what it were, I think with my age, obviously being 18, getting an old lad and things like that, I think work played a part in it there. I was doing an apprenticeship and at college and things like that, and you start meeting people, meeting friends and girls and stuff like that, and your weekends taken up by cricket. And I think I don't know. I want to say I lost the love for the game, which I never have done, but I just think I just went down a path that didn't involve cricket.
Yeah, and it is so time consuming. You've got to dedicate everything to it, and if you just have those, some people might call them distractions, whether it's work or girlfriends or other commitments.
Yeah.
It's a massive commitment. So let's move on. So if I can just tell the listeners, Pinky's back at the club and he's just taken over a storm with the coaching, with captaining the fourth 11, and really doing a fantastic job. Without embarrassing you, Pinky, everything I hear from people who watch you, who see your mannerisms, I watch the All-Stars that you help run and you manage that as well. You get nothing but praise. Just talk me through the process of the procedures, how you came back and how you came back to the club and you've got involved the way you have.
Right, so I'll be honest. I'm honest with you. From my son at the time, Seth.
Good.
I've got 3 children, by the way. Sorry, Isabella, who's 12, who plays for the club now as well.
Yeah.
Seth, he's 9. He plays under 9s, under 11s, and it's I've got a daughter called Ava whose birthday is today. So I'd just like to say before I go any further, happy birthday, Ava. Should have said it sooner. Sorry, love.
Yeah.
How old is Ava? How old is she today?
She's 4 today, Jez.
4. Oh, what a little handful that will be.
4 today.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Honestly, I've got my hands full, Jez.
I bet. Happy
Thank
birthday
you
from us. That's great. So,
and I better say hello to my lovely wife as well, Emma.
Yeah, do right. Good luck,
We'll be
Emma.
listening.
You're doing a great job keeping him down the club and helping out with everything. Don't be apologetic, Pinky, about it's because of the kids. It's so lovely to hear that the children bring you back. It's another generation.
No, well, I know. Again, that probably come out wrong there, Jez. So my son at the time, we'd moved on to Kid Row Lane.
Yeah.
So the club was walking distance. So I used to walk him down after a school night, and I'd take a cricket bat down with us and a ball.
Yeah.
And we'd climb on the wall, and I'd chuck a few balls to him and get him into cricket, and hoping he'd take it on board. And luckily he did. He took it on board, and we're enjoying it. So we signed up to All Stars.
Yeah.
And then from there, really, my coaching started, because with him doing that, obviously I knew Paddy and a few of the other coaches there, but obviously Stan, who I'm still heavily involved in, to see him again. I had a nephew, my nephew plays down there, Will Fallows, so I used to go and watch him. So, I was still going on to some of the games and watching some of the cricket. But as far as the coaching, it were all through doing the All-Stars, really.
Yeah.
And then looking at when my son started, he developed from the All-Stars into the under-9s. Stan asked me if I wanted to do my coaching badges, which I jumped at the chance and took them, and did a lot of work with Nigel Brown, who does a lot for the club and the juniors. It kind of went from there. I just got my badges and never looked back. I've just been going further and further, just helping out and taking on more teams and more roles, really. And I love it, Jez. I absolutely love it.
And it's almost a natural progression. We've got Joe Martin on, who's obviously the legendary wicketkeeper. They're playing all these games, and he's heavily involved in the coaching side, along with his brother Patrick. And there's a real good army of people there now. And it's good to see that, we're getting people like yourself coming down and you're enjoying it so much. And not only, your own Seth and Isabella, but other children and their parents will be benefiting from what you're doing and the rest of the team. So how did the fourth 11 come about? Were they a twisted arm there, or?
Not at all, Jez. No, it were quite strange. Really, me and my dad were sat watching a fourth 11 game just as spectators, and I'd organised to do my coaching badge with Stan, and Stan were walking around the ground, and I watching these teams, just these senior teams, shall we say, against our lot, our young kids, our 4th 11. And Shabazz were the captain at the time. So, and I was looking, and some of these players were smashing these kids over at park, and it was like, it's just hard to watch sometimes, and I just remember thinking, I'd love to go out there and just be able to help them.
Yeah.
So Stan were there, and I said, Stan, what's the chance of me coming back playing? And he said, great idea. So from there, it just kind of, got my membership sorted out and everything, and I got asked if I'd like to take over from Shabazz, who I think he had a bit of an injury, so he wanted a season or two out, and I took over from there. And again, look back, I mean, a massive shout out to Shabazz as well, because he's a lot to, he deserves a lot of credit for what he's done with that team. But yeah, it's I'm absolutely loving it, Jez, loving it.
And I think when you've asked that question to Stan, Stan's very laid back and he thinks about his answers. He would be jumping through hoops, thinking of someone of your age, your experience, to go in and because it is a difficult job. We have, second team captains, very difficult. 13 captain, 14 captains, and they're all pushing. The club is set up now that it's one set of senior players. It's one. We're all developing everyone to get through to the first team, which is then proper series cricket. So Stan would have jumped through hoops there. I think it's all. The
thing is, Jez, sorry to interrupt you, Jez. It's probably the most difficult job at the club, really, 4th team captain.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as much as I love it, and I want to see the kids do well. If someone in my team does well, I'm going to lose into thirds. So which I'm not. I've never hold a kid back there. That's what I'm there for. I want to do that. But then obviously you're thinking, all right, we're starting again in a way. Yeah. Well, that's great because we've got that much talent and youth with the club and experience. Some of the kids. I mean, we've got 2 13-year-old kids opening bowling for fourths. Yeah. And they're coming up against blokes week out, and they just there's no fear.
No,
we've got and the kids play. I think that's why we do quite well with junior teams as well during the week in the midweek games. Yeah, they're playing senior cricket, and they can take that into the limited overs, shall we say, in 16 overs that they play, 18 overs, and they can just feel free. Use them as it's probably the wrong thing to say, but I tell them to use them midweek games as a bit of a practice game for your 40 over cricket. Right. When you can use your 40 overs to bat 40 overs, get your runs there in your limited overs, shall we say, in the shorter over cricket. Use them as practice sessions.
It is a difficult subject. We've had it on here a couple of times, and it's quite prickly subject as well. Where we have junior players playing in the thirds or the fourths, sometimes the seconds, and you're playing against proper, grown men who are coming back from an injury or playing for a club that don't have a junior section, and it becomes difficult. But we've just got to carry on regardless of where we have. So it's really interesting, Pinky, and I really appreciate you going through your story there. I'm going to ask Joe and Joe in a minute just to, if they have any questions for you, because we've quite a bit to do on this episode. But we'd love you to stop on, Pinky, where you can join in with Guess the Winner, which is it's a renowned game that we've got going now, which everyone loves. But it really is a pleasure to have you back at the club. Pass our love on to your mum and dad, and when we see them down there, that's fantastic. And 3 more young Krupinskis coming through. So thanks very much for coming on, Joe M.
Jez, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
No, we love it. Love it. Great. Thank you.
Cheers, Joe. Thanks, Joe.
Have you anything for Pinky?
I have no questions. I mean, I speak to him pretty much every day anyway. But since he's come back to the club, it's been fantastic to work with him, with the players in the 4th team, because there's a bit of overlap in what me and Pat do with the APP and stuff. So seeing the stuff that we do, coaching them on Fridays when the sessions run, and then when they go into the 4th team, firstly that Pinky's going to give them a fair go, and that he's also going to be sort of teaching them about the game, and they're not sort of lost, like meandering through, and then eventually they might not enjoy it. When you watch a 4th team game, the kids love playing, and Pinky's a significant part of that because of how he deals with people and the stuff that he puts in on game days with Shabazz and everybody. So he does a really great job, and so very pleased that he's back involved at the club, because he's a real asset, and any club would be extremely lucky to have somebody like Pinky involved.
Yeah, no, it's a
Thanks,
good
Joe.
compliment.
Lovely words. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you, Joe.
No problem.
Duke, can you when he first came down club, you bullied him. How are you going to? What are you going to say now?
Well, I can't top what Joe said about him. I can't top that. But what I can say is, aside from the cricket and his performances with the ball, which we've already touched upon, my two main memories of Pinky were, first of all, we used to have a right laugh, you say we were handful. He fit right into that persona very well. We used to have an absolute scream in that second team change room, mostly at the expense of the older players when they weren't watching. But Pinky was a good ally to have in that changing room. He was a handful. But the other thing that I remember, and we're probably going to get in trouble with the ICC for saying this, but I also remember Pinky, when he was bowling, he'd go out to bowl and he'd have a clump of, Dax wax, the hair wax. He'd put
Josh.
Put a clump of it in his hair. And then when it was his turn to bowl, he'd shine the ball with the hair wax. And again, it can have only been about 16, 17 there, so I don't know where he'd pick them tips up from, but
Dax wax
worked.
Dax wax. If you're an investigation going.
I mean, we have got the Lancashire League's disciplinary chairman on this call, so maybe he'll have to investigate his own podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look into it. But it is, when you say now, because I was obviously, I'm obviously older than you, Rugrats, quite considerably, but, probably nearly 20 years older than Pinky. But he did have that little character in him. He did, he
was. He definitely had a bit of devil in him, for sure.
Yeah, he did, a bit of devilment, especially you lot, who were a few years older. So.
I'm going to say I think he had two Jez, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
sink or swim.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. That Pinky, really appreciate it. So we're going to move on, and we're going to just look at the last few games that we've not discussed over the 2 weeks. So we've got a number of games to talk about. I think at this point, I just want to put out there to the listeners, there's a few comments going around the league around a bit of doom and gloom about this and about this is not right and we want this different, things happening, behind the scenes. And I'm trying to quell it as best as I can with watching the games with Ducho, my brother Matt, and when me and Joe Martin talk. But I've got to, this weekend, and I only watch Lowerhouse, but the cricket on Friday at Clitheroe from both sides, and then the cricket on Sunday at Littleborough is as good as I've ever seen in Lancashire League, Joe Martin. It really was, and I talk about entertainment for a neutral. Friday night, it's a cold evening, quite windy, but the sun's out, and there is, 480 odd runs scored in a 20-over game that went right down to the last ball. What was it like, Joe, before we go through the scorecard? Just talk me through the game, how it felt as a player, how you felt the game swung from side to side, from us looking like we're going to get 300, and then to almost losing it with one ball off the last over, the first ball going for 6. What was it like playing in it?
Yeah, so I think I would say that it probably wasn't a case of us losing it. That's one thing.
Good point. Yeah.
But definitely, Ben loves playing at Clitheroe. He likes the wickets, fast outfield. He really, really loves playing there, and that sort of he's brought that into the team. I think we all quite like playing at Clitheroe. It's a nice place to play cricket. So I think when we make the start that we do, you sort of always expect to slow down a little bit, but we didn't really slow down significantly, and sort of just kept going. Ben batted extremely well. He batted brilliantly. He played some incredible shots. The two ones that I remember vividly is he hit the slow left arm spinner over cover, second or third over for 6 into the wind. Obviously against a slower bowler, that's so hard to do. And then he also carved one over point for 6. They were unbelievable shots. So he set a great platform. And then our sub-pro played extremely well as well. He played brilliantly. Some of the flat 6s he was hitting straight and they were all sort of proper cricket shots, and that's not saying that anybody else batting, didn't play the same way. They just did it a different way.
Joe, can I just mention there? I watched the pro. It was Mohammed Ferrara. Is that said? You think? Yeah, and he's Fleetwood pro.
Yeah.
Only a slight fella. The way he played, me and Matt were walking around, and we were down near the score box, extra cover as he's facing, hitting down the hill.
Yeah.
And he hit 3 fours, and he beat the fielder just by moving his wrist at the last minute.
Yeah.
He was looking at the fielder. And as the fielder moved a touch, he hit it the other side of him. It was almost like, I will hit it where I want. The entertainment value there was fantastic from him.
Ben and Francois discussed that actually when they're on the pitch. In that, as an amateur, when you come down, you have a very fixed idea of where you can hit it, and if you don't hit it in that area, you're either going to be out or you cloth it or whatever.
Yeah.
But he would come down the wicket and he'd have so many options that if it wasn't quite where it pitched or where you wanted it to pitch, he could still hit it for 4, and he would, as you say, change his wrists and hit. Yeah. It was brilliant. It was brilliant to watch, and you really want to see the kind of caliber of someone like him playing in the league who's played international cricket, and he was telling us stories about people that he'd faced, right. When he'd played internationally. So it was great. It was really great. So obviously we got a massive score, 230. I'll be really honest. I thought we would win. I thought they'd get close because I know what it's like at Clitheroe. It's very fast scoring. The pink ball goes miles.
Yeah.
And it never gets softer. So I thought they'd get close just because of the nature of the of where we were playing. I didn't think they'd get that close.
No.
And their pro for the sort of second time this season when we've played Clitheroe was faultless. I don't think he gave a chance in his innings until he was out. And again, real sort of wristy play, pick up length brilliantly, take pressure off.
Slogger. Slogger.
It's some massive sixes. And so it didn't matter where you were bowling at him.
No.
So I think whilst he was batting, they were always
without a doubt
in line to win the game.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And credit to Francois and Pro, Paddy and Ben for making sure that we still felt that we were in the game at every point, and we'd still pick up wickets, and we'd get dot balls and so on. And as I say, credit to Francois for bowling that over, sticking to his plans. And, it was a great catch by Keegan to get him out in the end.
I'm going to come on to that,
Brilliant backward of square, deep backward of square, diving catch, going forward, tough, light, he's always a problem in T20s. And that swung it back to us, and then, they hit a 6 off the first ball of the last over. So then they need... I think 5 off 5 then, or 4 off 5 or something like that. Maybe a few more probably. Actually,
I think it was 7. It was 7 off the last 5.
Did they need 7? Right, okay.
5 off the last ball.
Yeah, so that's right.
Because we got a few wickets and they scrambled the runs through. And as well, just to jump in about their pro, if their pro knocked them off, I know there was a few comments in the crowd which weren't great. It was. And we like beating Clitheroe because of maybe there's a little bit of history. But if their pro would have ended up 110 not out, even I will not.
It's fair enough.
I'd clap him off. You think you
absolutely.
The shots we were playing all square leg, but then he had to keep going. He had to keep going, and to get him out, and a big call, a brave call to let Paddy bowl that last over.
Yeah.
And as we said, the first ball goes for 6 from one of the amateurs.
Yeah.
But we pull it back round and they need 5 off the last ball. I mean, it's just worth mentioning this, Joe. They're pro 100 off 38 balls.
Yeah.
6 4s and 10 6s, so he's 84 in boundaries. That's cricket that he's at its best. And, and our pro at the time, 95 off 45. Ben's at 4 6s. Our pro's at 4 6s.
Yeah.
66 off 29. Ben, it's just quality cricket to watch. It was really a pleasure. Dooch, what? You clearly really enjoyed it. We were having a chat when we were there. What's your thoughts on how that cricket's played now? And 460 runs in 40 overs.
Yeah, it's obviously the modern game, and like Joe said, he could get the conditions that are conducive to it, then players like their pro are going to fill the boots, aren't they? I mean, I would say I would much rather watch our pros innings than theirs. And what you were saying earlier about the quality of stroke play that he played, and obviously I'm going to sound biased now, and that's fair enough. But our sub pro that night, that was as high class a batting performance as I remember watching. He was superb, and I know called Rosier slogger, but his shots were slightly more agricultural, weren't they? The two call outs I wanted to give was, first of all, Keegan, and I know you mentioned that catch there, and we were talking about it at Littleborough, weren't we, Jez, that the game literally hinges on that point. If he doesn't take that catch there, we just lose the game. It's a yes or no type situation. There's no other outcomes there. He catches it, we win. If he'd have dropped it, we'd have lost. Simple as. And the other call out I wanted to make was for Paddy, because captaining a cricket team, even in a 50-over game, can sometimes feel like herding cats. And in a T20 game, when the ball is literally disappearing to all parts, and not only have you got to try and captain it, you've got to think about when you're going to bowl as well, is incredibly difficult. And for him to keep his cool and keep his nerve like he did at the end, after the first ball goes for 6, after the previous 19 overs of the innings, I think it's remarkable and will stand him in very, very good stead going forward.
Yeah, and it goes like that. The game, it just goes, doesn't it? And you get sucked up in the moment. That is absolutely invaluable for him, and all credit for the way we won that game in the end. And then Sunday, Joe, Littleborough away again. It looked good. The pitch looked good. I didn't go and have a look at the close up, but it looked a nice colour. And as we said, the ground, it's a big ground. It feels quick.
It wasn't.
Was it not?
It was
so very slow. Yeah, very slow.
Right. There were some shots that were hit on that were, if you were at Lowerhouse, for example. I'm only saying Lowerhouse because that's where we play. That would have gone for 4. So you're probably looking at 280, 290, probably. I would say if you were The only thing I can think is that the outfield at Littleborough is really hard.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what I'm thinking. The ball, you could hear the ball bouncing on it.
Yeah.
But it's not going away. That's what you're saying. The grass is,
So I think they probably leave it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because I think if they cut it any shorter, it'd be a minefield to field them. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So that probably, I was certainly the way, we've got Ben and Johnny, a decent open partnership, get 14 and 16 each, but then Tom and Dan get together, and once they got together, they look established. They're not playing any ridiculous rash shots. I just had in my mind, we're looking at the top end of 250 here, going forward with it. Tom 83, an absolute fantastic knock off 121 balls, and Dan, again a great knock, 48, steadying it down a little bit. I thought Henry batted so well.
He batted
when
brilliantly.
Came in.
Really great. Really great.
A little bit of pressure, but he worked it. He worked the ball. He wasn't going to let himself get bogged down. And then, Frankie and Keegan, do what they do, and we get to 230. I genuinely thought, that's a good score now. Yeah. But their throw's a great player. He can get maybe 120 on his own, and then it would make all the difference. Bearing in mind, Littleborough have lost a couple of players. Again, I ask you this every week, Joe. Dressing room, you're upbeat. Everyone came out fighting. Yes. Had you any concerns?
No, I actually thought that was a above par score. On that, because it wasn't. As I say, the outfield wasn't particularly quick. And I thought we had the bowling attack to put a lot of pressure on. So
yeah. And again, so we've 230 and we bowled them out for 163. Their skipper Muskelly was, played relatively well, got 49. But we always looked on top once Tom Walker had got their pro out, caught behind. It looked a cracking ball, that Joe. It looked, and he's obviously upset he's their pro. He wasn't waiting for umpire's decision. It's obviously, a great wicket. It
was a really good ball, sort of angled in and then just sort of held its line, and as he pushed at it, the edge died a little bit. So so it was a massive wicket. which meant that
Great catch, Joe. Great catch.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It was. Yeah, it was.
But it just meant that you could kind of control the game from there without having to worry about, trying to contain the pro at any point. So, it was a good Tom bowled very well. Lots of different plans because it wasn't a particularly quick pitch.
No,
to be honest with you. So, Tom had to change up a lot in how he was bowling. Came around the wicket, over the wicket, short, full, straight. Trying lots of different ways to try and take wickets on that wicket. So I think he did brilliantly. And I think just back to the to our batting innings, Henry did bat extremely well. He batted brilliantly. He rotated well. He didn't let the bowlers bowl at him. He used his feet. He swept, reverse sweep, full sweep, and it was really great to see because he played with confidence and at a time, you could easily end up 170, 180 all out if you didn't get that right. So he put us in a great position to take that forward with Tom Walker, who batted extremely well as well, along with Dan and everyone.
Yeah, and just put him out of the game, didn't he? So a great performance from the team. And then, we've not done the weekend before. We'll very quickly go through it because we've still got a couple of other things to talk about. The Crompton game. Again, I thought they were still in it. I thought that, there were a couple of daft run-outs there from their side. And I thought they played relatively well. Did we have enough with that 206? Well, we obviously did have enough. But
we did in the end.
At half-time?
We did in the end. Yeah, I was pretty confident. But, they were at quite a big disadvantage. They had no pro.
That's right.
So I'd like to think that didn't sort of mean that we were complacent. Then he batted well. He got, he was batting extremely well. So I think it was a decent performance, but I think it sort of showed that we were probably about 60%, and we could have got more, and I think we could have been a little bit more ruthless. Yeah,
and it was, the two lads batted well. You can't, there's some good players there, and they played well until the run outs, and you've just got to take that, as best you can. And then the day after the Greenmount game, we just weren't really in it, were we? It was a disappointing.
Yeah, it was very disappointing. It was very disappointing, and I don't think there's sort of anything that I'd be able to say, that would say, well, we did this well, or we did that well, or whatever. I actually think they played really well.
I agree.
And that happens, right? That happens. So, credit to Greenmount, because they got their plans right and played well against us. So.
And against a good side, a good pro, some good amateur batters, 118 is never going to be enough.
No,
definitely not. It was difficult. Yeah. And then the second team, continuing, and they got beat at weekend against Littleborough in a game. Dooch, I know you were following that. A game they maybe shouldn't have got beaten. Is that your view?
Yeah, I don't know about shouldn't have got beat. I mean, they had a very good chance to win the game, and having spoke to Declan, he felt that they made mistakes in all facets, bat, ball, and field. Obviously, they bowl wides again, which is killing them. But I'm still taking the positives out of it. They managed to get points out of that game, which in previous seasons they probably wouldn't have done. They got Keegan was obviously playing in the first team, so they were missing one of the strongest players. I think they're doing well. I still think they've had a very, very good start. They're on the right track, and they're certainly going in the right direction. If they can just polish a few bits up and continue developing, I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine. But whilst acknowledging they would have been very, very disappointed to lose such a close game.
Yeah. And I think it's probably a measure of where they've got to, that we are thinking now that those games, Greenmount, good side, they're always going to be there or thereabouts. We still get 181 and we're expecting them, you can win this, you can win it. And you're right, they're a very, very young side there that we've got, and just fail at the end. Those games come and go. And
Littleborough, weren't it? Littleborough game we're talking
about.
Sorry,
Littleborough, yes. Sorry, Littleborough weekend. They won at the Greenmount game, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
The weekend before. So, that's a good shout there. That 208, Keegan 49, and Joe Clark, he got 40. Good young player, Joe Martin.
Very good. Yeah. Very, very good. He proper batter, good fielder, thinks about the game. Is very, very good. I don't think he'll be far off.
Yeah, good.
He's a great player.
So there's
before you move off the seconds, good to see Sharpie in the runs again. Very, very good player to watch when he's in full flow, and it's good to see him get some runs again.
Yeah, we need that. And Declan's bowling again, and which is looking good. And they've got some good, and when you think, the first team of 2, 3, maybe 4 players, with injuries and work commitments from Hawkey, etc. So it all feeds into the size of the squads. And again, it goes back to you, Pinky. The getting these younger lads in from the thirds and fourths, they're going to get the chances in there. Are you enjoying watching the senior cricket, the first and second team when you come on? It's a good standard. Do you enjoy it?
Absolutely, Jez. Yeah. It is. It's the Greenmount game especially. I mean, I know, like Joe said, it was quite disappointing, really, but they did play very well.
Yeah, they did.
I just thought that their pro, that Snyman, he's he looks class act, really. He can hit an hard ball in. But I'm enjoying watching like the likes of Ben batting, Johnny, Walker's doing brilliant. Obviously watching Paddy and Joe. Yeah, it's great to see, and Declan is doing a fantastic job with the twos.
Yeah.
Said, like you just touched on there, they're a young side. They can only get better, and I think they've done really well to bounce back from last season, and they're doing fantastic.
Yeah, and
credit to Declan and the boys.
Maintain this year in that league, and then some of the juniors come through a little bit more. It's great to see. So fingers crossed we keep going the way we are.
Well, again, touching on like you mentioned about Joe Clark there, he went fourth 2 seasons ago. Scoring runs, and now working his way up. He's doing fantastic. Jax Edwards, another one.
Yeah,
he's doing great. They've all starting that in the fours and stuff like that. So
and that's really good that you can, and you get pleasure out of that. You get pleasure just like your dad did watching you, my dad watching me. That's what the community club's all about. So it's fantastic to see. So we're going to move on.
Absolutely.
We've got the May draw to do, and we have a really good game, Pinky, that I'd like you to get involved with. But before we move on to it, there's a little story I don't know if you're aware of this, Joe Martin, of what happened at Dooch's house over the weekend.
No, I think Blez mentioned something, and I'd completely forgot until you mentioned then.
It's worth just talking it through, because I have more questions than answers.
Right. Okay.
What happened? So for the listeners, I don't know if you know, Pinky, Dooch was, he was at home on Sunday morning, and he hears a noise and a load of clattering. He goes into what is like an office stroke spare bedroom, and
this room I'm in now.
Oh, the room you're in now, and there's a picture fallen off the wall and smashed into smithereens, and he's looking around and he doesn't know what's happened. And it turns out there's a pigeon in his bedroom. So Dooch, being Dooch, brave, strong, decides that we need to, sort this out and get it out. It's alive, it looks healthy, and it's apparent that the cat's brought it in. So the cat is still in the bedroom with the pigeon, which is dragged from the cat flap downstairs. There's blood on the walls, there's feathers everywhere, but the pigeon's getting the better of the cat. So Dooch decides to take the cat out the cat out the bedroom whilst the pigeon is sat on one of the pictures on the wall. And then, the source that I've got this information from, she says to me that Joe is absolutely bobbing his pants. He's outside in the hallway and does not know what to do, how to get this pigeon out. So Rachel has to go in and get the pigeon and let it free out of the bedroom window to fly off. Now, I've never heard anything as ridiculous. How you're scared. He's hiding. He's trying to get in the bathroom, shutting the door behind him so the pigeon doesn't come in and attack him.
Cat, Jess, so it can't be that timid, can it, really?
Well, Yeah, but you've got to grow a set, haven't you? And say, right, Rachel, I'll sort this out from here. But no,
Chest out. Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of like a
All
pigeon.
right, fair enough. This is logged.
onto the main draw.
Have you ever attacked a pigeon, Jez? It's a
I haven't
podcast
got
title, isn't it?
I think I'll attack one. No,
It's a very niche question, that, Joe.
Yeah.
I think we had one in the van once that we had to get rid of, and we had
Had one in the
I
van.
once stopped at a very good friend's house. We'd been out for a night out, and in the morning he'd made all the bed. It was all beautiful, him and his wife. I was just there on my own. We'd been out in Chester, and in the morning we'd obviously had a curry and quite a lot of real ale. So the smell in the bedroom wasn't great. So I thought I better just open the windows and set the make all the bed, make everything perfect. And they had to go out, so I had to lock up and put the keys through the door. And when he messaged me later there were bird shit all over the duvet. So 2 birds had flown in through this window I had left open and sat on the light fitting and done the droppings on the floor. So that's the only bird story, but I wasn't there to kick them out, and I wouldn't have asked Lisa to get rid of them. I'd have dealt with it. So, Pinky, let me just explain what happens now. We've got the Lowerhouse draw, which has been going now for 26 years, and we draw it online. We draw it live, so there's no allegations of any jiggery pokery. Joe Martin will set up a random number generator, which goes up to 177. We have a few free numbers in, and then what we do, the 3 of you play a game, as you have to guess the winner when I give you some fantastic clues. Joe Martin's not very good. He's never won it. Dooch is quite good. He's very intense. They're obviously all either Lowerhouse members, players, ex-players, etc. But I'll give you the clues, and you have to guess between you. So it's a May draw. It's £100 first prize, £80 second prize, 73rd and 54th. So have you any questions, Dooch? Do you want any clarification around the rules?
No, I know the rules.
Okay, then.
Do we have any new entrants, Jez?
We do. Do you want to do those now? Right, let's go through them. It's really remarkable. We're getting some really good inquiries about people wanting to come in and join. So, Malcolm Moss, new entrant, number 39.
What can you tell us about Malcolm, Jez?
He's a member, he's a club member, a spectator, and then...
He's just entered the draw.
And then on Sunday, we were sat at Littleborough, half a dozen or more of us, and we were laughing and joking, and we got Warren De Vries come over, telling us some stories about South Africa and how some incidents he'd had over there. And it kick-started him. Every time I see him, he says, I want a number in that draw, I want a number. So it kick-started, and he actually created the standing order as we sat there. So thanks ever so much, Warren. Your standing order's not come in yet, but your number is in the draw, so if it doesn't come in and you win, then there might be some trouble. But Warren's number is 77. So thanks very much for joining, Woz.
Is the story about Warren the coincidental story? Is that for another day, do you think? Or
I can mention it. If you want. Me and Nicky were born in South Africa in Springs, Joe.
Yep.
And that's where Warren came from.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where he was brought up. So it's about the size of Burnley, and yet we're all in that same area. Obviously, we were there long before Warren, but Warren's loving it because Nicky's going over at Christmas, and Warren's going to introduce him to his mum and his sister and his brother-in-law, who he promises will look after Nicky. I have passed it on, and Nicky's going to liaise with him.
And does Warren know? Does Nicky know Warren?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I've sent him a message. How do you know Warren, who plays and his son who watches and his son plays for the first team now? He said, "Oh yeah," he said he first ever game of golf. I was with him. There were 4 on a 4-ball. Didn't know him from Adam, and he went round 174 with Warren. So,
he's a great guy, was.
He is fantastic. Another new member, Suzanne Heat, messaged me during the week.
Oh, fantastic.
Saying, I go walking my dog and I listen to that crazy podcast that you do. Joe Martin and Dooch have got you right where they want you, she said. I don't know what she means by that. Taking the mickey. Laura Nelson, 150.
Oh, excellent.
Laura is the parent of one of the under-15s.
Yeah. Josh Nelson, one of Pinky's.
That's right. Josh Nelson, yeah.
Wicket machine, isn't he, Josh?
Yeah, he's good as
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
He's good as well.
And Laura and Michael, thanks very much for joining. So that's where we are with another 3 or 4 in there. And then the other ones from previous, Mick Binns, Simon Fisher, You know, it's Hugh Birkin show. It's fantastic that these people are joining. So,
Are you going through them all, Jez?
no, not properly. No, that's just a new one.
Guess it right, don't be a quitter. It's time to play. Guess the winner.
Right. Up to 177, please, Joe. Give us a number.
Oh, number 17.
Well, that's an early one. There's one
Early,
of
isn't
the
it, that?
originals from 2000 that did that. Yeah, I should have known who this was. Right, first clue. It's the day of his birth.
What?
What, today?
No, the 17th.
Oh, Christ.
Is it Matt Up?
No.
Nicky.
Yeah, well done, Joe.
There we go. Excellent.
Nicky, I can't believe it.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
£100 goes to a member of the Hawk family.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just put the scores down.
Might as well stay consistent, Dooch.
Yeah.
So well done, Nicky. That's £100 coming your way. How was it a fix? You're doing the numbers.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, but we don't know whose numbers is who. You could.
No.
Well, Nicky, these are all available. They're on the website.
You could be randomising the names.
Yeah.
I am going to put them on the board at the club. I need to get them up there. So Nicky picked 17 in 2000 because it's his date of birth, like I said.
Nice.
Second prize, £80, please, Joe.
Oh, number 31.
Number 31. Okay. Legend is probably used a little bit too often.
Right.
This lad can go down as a legend of Lowerhouse. He's a really, really lovable person.
Player.
I'm not answering that.
Okay. Higgy.
No.
Oh, okay. Stan.
No.
Why won't you answer if he's a player or not?
Could it give it away if I said exactly what he is at the moment? It would give it away. That should give you the clues. What
He is at the moment.
What I'm alluding to. Come on, Pinky, think. It's part of a group. Well, not far off. It's part of a group that we talked about earlier. Part of that group.
Oh, Matt Fanny.
No.
Jesus.
Marquis.
No.
Kev Shields.
No.
Um,
Come on, lads, think. Why can I not say that he's definitely playing now or he's definitely not playing now?
does
He's
he pick and
lads.
choose?
Well, he's not.
Charlie Cotton.
Correct. Well done.
Oh, very good, Duke. Yeah. Legend.
Oh, that took so long. Right, well done, Charlie. 80 quid coming your way.
Nice.
Next one, please, Joe.
Number 76.
Number 76. For the listeners, we're on video. We do this on video, and I have to try and hide my face so I don't give anything away.
Oh, so is it Jez?
No, this lad puts in more work than the vast majority of any of us at the club.
Keith Fairclough.
No,
Matt Stansfield.
no.
Frank.
No, it's proper work. It's not that administrative.
Roger.
Wado.
Well done, Pinky.
Oh, nice, Pinky. Good. Excellent. Well done, Wado.
Joe, we had to mention about Wado as well, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, good point. Well
The
made.
covers.
Yeah, we need a podcast apology for Wado because
Better late than never, Joe.
yeah, it wasn't when we talked with Blaise about the covers being put on the wrong pitch.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't me. I think we said it was Waddle's fault, and it wasn't. It was the curator's fault.
Yeah, but who told you that? Wado?
Yes.
Oh, so he could be
Of
making
course
it
it
up.
is.
Well, yeah, but at least we've got both stories there now.
Yeah, okay. No, they're not off the hook yet. More interestingly, the guess to win a game is 1-1 for everyone.
Oh yeah.
1-1-1. So this is for the big prize, whoever gets this. £50, please, Joss.
Number 9.
Oh, my goodness.
There've been low ones this week. I know people complain about the high numbers, don't they? But
Number 9. So this lady,
Female.
this lady, lovely lady, she won in December 24. She's obviously taken this number off an old member of the 100 Club because she's been in the draw since June 2024. She is the parent of a junior player. I'm not sure how old the junior is now because obviously she joined like over 2 years or about around 2 years ago, so he might have.
she'll probably be 2 years older, I reckon.
2 years older than when his mum did join. Yeah.
Okay.
Jenny Monk.
No.
Oh, good shout, Dooch. Deech has a list of females in his that they can go
I
to.
was just wondering if I got that right. I know that name's come up before, hasn't
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. Yeah,
Jean Hay.
Ellen
No.
McGregor.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
The first name, I can give you a little bit of there's a real famous singer whose last name is Turner, and
Tina.
the first names are nearly the same.
Terrible.
Nearly
Lisa.
Tina.
Lisa.
No, it's not Tina, but it's
Gina.
Not Tina. But it's like Tina.
very, very, just one letter, one extra letter.
One extra letter.
Yeah.
Sheena. One extra letter.
Yeah, that's weird. I can't. It's like a game of Wordle, this.
One extra letter. Which
What
end?
about first clue, Jez, please?
Female.
Female.
Okay. Second.
Parent.
Two
of one of
across,
the
please.
juniors.
Junior. Bloody hell.
And it's another. Is it on the start of the name, Jez, or the end of it?
Second letter.
Second letter.
Yeah.
T-
Is it
Trina.
Yeah, well done.
Oh.
Do we know any?
Yeah. What is he called?
Come on, Pinky.
That's the game, Pinky. You have to tell us what it's
Oh.
called.
He's been in my team. Lucas Hardaker.
Well
Hardaker.
done, Pinky.
Oh,
wins.
Pinky wins.
Debut
Win. Well done,
Yeah.
Pinky.
Well done, Pinky. So well done, Trina. £50 coming to your
Well done, everybody.
for being involved. So don't forget, anyone who's listening, thanks very much for your contributions and helping us out and encouraging us to do this. We enjoy doing it, and it's always good for a bit of a laugh every fortnight or every week. I'm going to go around the host before we conclude, and then Pinky, I'll come to you at the end for the final comments. Joe Martin, anything you want to add before we move on?
Thank you for such wonderful clues on the Guess the Winner game, Jez.
You're welcome. Anytime. Dude,
Famous singer, Tina Turner.
Anything from me? Just that the T20 start this week. We've got a home game. No, they don't start this week. The home games start this week. We've got a home game against Enfield on Friday night.
Is the DJ in residency, Dooch?
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Is there a battle with the DJs between you and what's it called? DJ, is it Spooner?
DJ Spoon.
He's a bit of a spoon, so yeah.
Is there a battle
it-
between you?
No, not really. I hold the residency, and sometimes I subcontract it out to my capable assistant.
Yeah, you get a guest in.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so get yourself down there. It'll be a great evening. Good cricket. There will be a band on and all good fun. Pinky, thanks ever so much for coming on. We really appreciate your contributions. We've got one question for you from a chap who's asking. It's Leo Caldicott who's asking, do you think the under-9s Hornets could go on and achieve the similar achievements as they did last year by winning the league?
Excuse me. I have no doubt that they will do that because I'm the coach, for goodness sake. What do you want to say about that? We best team in the league, Jez. Best team in the league. We beat Burnley twice this season already, so yeah, we can go on and win it. We're going to win Cup as well.
Brilliant.
Tell Leo that as well.
Right, Leo.
I think
so there you go.
The Players' Cup match Monday night. So,
Excellent.
Brilliant.
yeah, so I think
you just say that again, Pinky, because I overtalked you. What's on Monday night?
I think it's the next round of the Cup. I think it is against Rottenstall, I think. I'm not sure where it is, at Lowerhouse or away, but yeah, we beat Nelson in the first round, and we've got, I think, Rottenstall in the next round. And on that note, we won the league last season. We come runners-up in the Cup last year. So big boots to fill. So
yeah, fantastic. And thanks, Leo, for the question. And he has finished the message to us, Pinky, by saying he really wants to thank you for all the time and effort you put in for that group of young kids. So again, thanks from other people, not just from us. Pinky,
it's a pleasure.
Anything you want to add before we finish this podcast?
Just thank you for having me on, Jez, and Joe and Joe. Thanks for letting me talk a little bit and tell you some things. But no, I just really appreciate Stan in particular for giving me the chance to come and look after the kids and do what I do.
Yeah.
Thanks to the parents who support us week in, week out in the fourth team, in the junior cricket, 9-11, the girls team, which is doing fantastic. And all I can say is thank you for your support and you've lovely comments, but it's an absolute pleasure of mine to do it. I really love doing it.
Good. That is really, and it's so good to have you on. And I think we can finish this podcast by, at the start, Pinky looked like he maybe had a little bit of hassles and everything, but I can assure you, listeners, Pinky gave as good as he got throughout his career when I knew him. With some of them, he was a proper little rascal. So thanks everyone for listening, and subscribe and like and do whatever else you do. Spread the word about Guess the Winner, and if you want to join in, then just give us a shout, any of the committee, or send me a message. It's on the website. Thanks everyone for listening, and goodbye.
Order! Send more house to save the house!